Hey everyone. So we decided to come on and do some happy news, let you know about happy things going on in the world because why? We need more happiness. We need to be happy,
Oh,
happy. There's not enough happiness out there. So I'm Celia Kibler, founder of the Day of Calm Foundation. Calm. And I'm with Madeline Shears, who I've known all my life, although she has not known me all her life because
that
she's
is
my
true.
older sister and on the board of directors for the Day of Calm Foundation.
Yeah.
So, hey, Maddie.
Hey, Celia. So, so I was really thinking about this, and one of the most fun things I think that people can do to really feel happier is a gratitude list. And we've talked about this before, but I think when you start like even thinking about like the little things you're grateful for, like clean sheets and coffee and a television set and coffee and a nice sofa in your house and coffee
And
and like
coffee
when
and
you
more coffee.
more coffee and when
We're
you list
very
all
grateful for coffee.
right
Coffee
basically
is our friend.
yes. But when you list the things that you really feel grateful for that seem small, I mean, people are always thinking, like, I sometimes think too big, like, oh, I'm grateful for, you could be grateful for the big things, nature, the creator. Oh, you should definitely do that because we've all got it. It's all around us. It's the stuff that connects us. So I think that gratitude though can be about all the little things that make you personally happy, and then the bigger things that connect you to other people. And one of the bigger things that connects us to other people is to take care of people who need us, who
Yes,
don't have any resources near them. So they need people like us to pay attention to them and to care about them. And that's kind of what we're here to talk about right now is a school that we are supporting and trying to build in Uganda that does wonderful work with orphan children, with children who are at risk from being trafficked or becoming child soldiers, or they've already been through all of that. But this school takes them in and tries to give them a brighter future.
absolutely. Absolutely. And it was created to initially to help the girls in the community because
Mhm.
the truth is if it wasn't for the brilliant primary and nursery school, they would have no school, or they would have to walk miles and miles without shoes to a close school. Most of these kids, a lot of these kids don't have clothes. They don't even have a place to live. So one of the things we're trying to do is build a dormitory. So the ones that are orphaned have somewhere to live because there's a huge problem with AIDS in that area. And so they are facing a lot of challenges. And what's wonderful is all these people, the man that started this school, his handful of teachers that help teach these 400 children that come to them, they give them hope and a place where they can learn and thrive.
And then when you see what these kids are grateful for, like when we sent them toothbrushes, I mean, look at this. They're grateful to have toothbrushes. They're grateful for a few books. They're none of them have iPads. There's nothing like that going on, which would be a really nice thing for them because it would connect them with the rest of the world. So in our GoFundMe project, we're really looking to start a school that started, but I mean, really looking to enhance this school that these wonderful, selfless adults have begun, but to make it into something that really brings these kids into the 21st century and really gives them hope of a better life. That once they leave the school, they're not just stuck with nothing again. So that is the goal of International Day of Calm doing this and supporting this school. And we're very lucky. We have a cousin who's an architect. She's already drawn up the plans for free. So all we've got to do is get the funding to get it going.
Yes, look how happy these kids are, but look at the building behind it. This is
Mm-hmm.
where they go to school
Yep.
in walls that have spaces in them. that are falling down, that their floors, if you can't tell, are mud. And some of the problems with that is the ones that don't have shoes is there are jiggers in that mud and they enter humans through their feet. And
Yep.
there's no way to fix that unless you give them a floor. And Maddie had mentioned the toothbrushes. Why did we send 500 toothbrushes over to Uganda? Because I was teaching a lesson. We both teach lessons virtually there. And I was talking about hygiene and brushing your teeth and the importance of brushing your teeth twice a day when one of the children raised their hand and said, "What if you don't have a toothbrush?" They
Mm,
don't even have a toothbrush.
right. Or
And they were
soap.
so excited to receive our shipment.
And no, toothpaste, all the things that we take for granted living in the wealthiest country in the world still, all of those things they don't have. So sometimes I think that even, we're all looking for ways to help. Those of us that can, we look for ways to help. And if you've got kids, it's great to get them involved with helping. So if you say to your child something like, well, they're making a Christmas list or a birthday list of gifts. And you say, oh, well, if we took this one gift here that costs $15, what if we took this off your list and we gave this money to these kids in Uganda, and you show them a picture and you explain the situation. And kids, they love to give. I remember when Celia's daughter, my niece Lauren, was very young, and we used to have this Mrs. Santa Claus in the neighborhood. And she would take all of everybody's old toys, whatever they were that wasn't too dirty, and completely refurbish them and give them to the children that weren't getting anything for Christmas. And I remember going through with Lauren all of her toys. She had so many toys because she was the first grandchild. So everybody gave her stuff and they kept giving her stuff. And it was like taking over her room, right? So Celia said, let's pick through all the toys and let's figure out what you really, really want. Like we're going to save 10. And everything else we are going to take to Mrs. Claus. And at first, as I recall, she wasn't too happy about the idea. She was sort of, yes. But then as we started to go through things, it was a hard time. But then the more she did it, the happier she got,
Yeah,
the
the
better
more
she felt,
excited she got
more
to
excited.
find things.
And I think it could work that way with kids. I mean, even if, I don't know if you give allowance, but if you do, maybe you say, well, what if here's the school we're trying to build, and we're going to help these people build the school, and here's the kids we're trying to help as a family. And, what if we gave for 6 months half of your allowance, and then we could donate that?
Right.
Or even if you don't tell the child, why don't you ask the child themselves? So, how
What
much
they want to give.
allowance would you be willing to give?
And you'd be surprised how generous they are.
Oh, yeah.
And if you go to the GoFundMe while we're talking about this, go to search the rescue underscore, or is it dash? Might be a dash. Rescue dash our school. So rescue dash our, how do you spell
Oh,
our?
you.
OUR dash school. Search that. You will find the Brilliant Primary School. There's a great video of all the teachers and the kids, and they really get to see the school, the buildings. These children are working. They just created a fish pond for food, a cassava farm to grow cassava, corn. They're in the process of growing their own food. But listen to this. If they collect $500, that will modestly, now not like full fledgedly, but fledgedly, that's not really a word, but it doesn't matter, modestly feed all their students for one semester. $500. If you're listening to this and we get 100 people give $5, we just fed those kids for a semester.
Exactly. And if you are interested, if you've got elementary age kids, if you are interested, because I know a lot of the schools that I visit do fundraisers for specific things, you could even bring this idea to the school, show them what we're doing and then figure out a fundraiser that would work for your area, something that can
Exactly.
help
You could
these.
do a lemonade stand.
Yeah,
We actually will be offering a book fair, wrong, a readathon fundraiser that you can sign up for on our site, Day of Calm, which will give your school 80% and give the sister Uganda school 20%. And if your school decides you want a bigger percentage, your kids can decide. We
right.
also may be adding another fundraiser that you can participate in, but it's not official yet. But you can start, and what a great thing, and call it your sister school.
Yeah,
We already have some schools that do that. This is their sister school. And
right.
once we build this school, guess what? We'll find another one to build that needs
Yep,
our help.
yep. And we already know about another orphanage nearby. So there are a lot of people in this area that really need help, that really are having difficulty getting any kind of funding because simply because nobody knows about them and because trying to get funding from their governments is extremely hard to do. Extremely. So there's a lot of politics that goes into that kind of thing that I'm not going to get into at all, but just trust me when I tell you this. I spent 2 years ago, I spent a good deal of time listening to the ambassador from Uganda to the UN. I did a whole evening session with her, got to talk to her. And believe me, there is a lot that they are trying to overcome there within their own government, and just a lot that they wish they could do. They certainly wish they could do it for all of their people, but they're just having a very difficult time,
Right.
as you
It's
may
hard.
know, because politics can be very divisive and people's hearts aren't where they should be. But yours can be. Your
Right.
heart can be where it
And
should
your
be.
kids can be. And
And the
there's
kids
also,
can
since
be.
we are building new buildings, there's
Right.
also the option, if you are able to even give more or you're collecting in the community, for naming rights. What if you
Yeah.
name their playground? Our playground is going to be designed by a specialist in playgrounds. What if you named the cafeteria and it had your name on it? Your kids could
Right.
be, look, we did that. How often is it you walk into a hospital and you're like, whoa, this family built this wing?
Right.
You can
Exactly.
do that for kids that are only going to experience what a great life is. We have so much abundance here and we don't even appreciate it. And like Maddie said at the beginning, we don't even realize how grateful we need to be. This is an excellent way to
Yeah.
teach your children about gratitude and appreciation.
And I do a lot of spiritual circles. I've been doing them for many, many years. I've been studying spirituality and religion all over the world for the last 40 years. And there's a concept that I love. I first heard it from a Peruvian shaman, curandero, in his language. And they have something called Aini, which means sacred reciprocity, which, in very, very childlike terms, you get what you give. It's basically, and the whole universe works that way. He was quick to point out that everything is interdependent on each other. So if you want the whole world to be beautiful and you want everybody's kids to grow up to be safe and healthy and happy, then even the little bit that you give, and even if the only thing you can give is a prayer, believe me, that is something that goes out there in the whole energy of the world, and that becomes sacred reciprocity. So if you are of a mind and of a heart where you want to even just make a small gesture, that, like they always say, no amount is too small, and especially if you're involving your kids or you're involving your whole family, then it becomes a project and a source of great pride and joy for your own children, your grandchildren, your community, your church, your synagogue. there are so many opportunities here. This weekend, I'm going to speak at a Unitarian Universalist congregation, and I'm going to ask them if they would like to adopt a school, if they would like to in any way help. And I'm sure they will. They are a small congregation, but they are mighty. And the
Yes.
woman that runs their congregation is mighty. And she is very, very interested in doing what their bylaws say, which is bringing peace to the world and bringing love to the world. So we can do that
Yes.
as individuals, families, communities, churches, synagogues, anything, everyone.
Everyone. And remember just what Maddie said. You may feel like you're small. Your children certainly feel like they're small. But imagine how big they'll feel when they are able to contribute to these kids they don't even know, put
Right.
smiles on their face, put
Yeah.
walls up that they can decorate. This is how they decorate their walls. This is
Yeah.
when they draw things. This is their paper. Even paper, things they don't even think about us not having, that is just full of excitement for them if they
Yep.
got pads of paper.
Yep.
There's so many things, and you can be small, but you can certainly be mighty
Yep.
and definitely impactful. And it's exciting to help and exciting to find out. And you could even have the opportunity to get on a Zoom call with those
Kid,
kids.
yeah.
We
I mean,
can
you
set
can
that up
certainly arrange that.
easily so your family can be like, let me meet who we're helping.
Yep. Exactly. So we're not asking for much. That's the killer here. To build a school like this in Uganda, think about what it costs to build schools here for 400 kids. I mean, I have to say, most of the elementary schools I work in, that's about what they have, 400 kids, millions, right?
Yes,
Millions of dollars to build, millions of dollars to maintain. We are asking initially for such a small amount. We're asking in the GoFundMe project for 20,000.
to get
It's
us
not,
started.
yeah, just to get started, just to get the walls and the floors done and keep it healthy and safe. So we're asking for what we need basically to get this project off the ground. Anything more, of course, would be wonderful, wonderful,
Yes,
wonderful. But if we can hit this, we've got a running start, and then we can just keep going from there. The sky's the
correct.
limit.
And another small addition, if you're able to, or if you're working towards for any small amount, $5,000 gives them the money they need to operate for one semester, including teacher salaries, teacher housing, because their teachers come from a far distance and they have to put them somewhere to live. They can't go back and forth. So they
Right.
have to find housing for them. There is a whole world they have to put together to get these kids the life that they deserve.
Yep. So we hope you'll join us. It's really gratifying. And please, please, please send us comments. Let us know what you want to do, what suggestions you have. Let us know if you'd like to arrange for a Zoom call with the kids. I mean, it might mean, depending on which time zone you're in, that you're up pretty early in the morning, but just let us know. We really, 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 really want to hear from our community out there.
Absolutely. So you go to GoFundMe and go to rescue dash our our dash school, and it will take you to the GoFundMe for the brilliant primary and nursery school in Uganda. And it is sponsored by the Day of Calm. That's dayofcalm.org. And before we go, I want to remind you that April 5th is the International Day of Calm. So this is when we bring the world together to find calm. Is calm just sitting on a mountaintop, looking out and being peaceful? That's calming. But true calm is the absence of stress and anxiety.
Mhm.
Laughing, dancing, having fun, calm.
Yeah. And you should
Enjoying
see
your
these
life,
kids.
calm.
I
Doing
I have
things for
never
others, calm.
yep. I have never done a session with these kids where they have not smiled all the way through it. They have never sent us a video of something they're doing that they want us to see where they are not smiling. And believe me, like I said, I'm in easily 120 elementary schools a year doing my programs, my storytelling, and the multicultural programs that I do. But there are not a lot of smiles going on sometimes in those hallways. In my classes, I'm happy to say there are, because all kids love
Yes, and in my
storytelling,
classes, there are lots of
dancing, and
smiles
too.
too.
But, walking down the hallways there, doing the everyday things, sometimes we don't see the kind of joy that we see in these kids just because they have a place to go and people who care about them.
And feel safe. And they're watching us, mind you, through a cell phone
Yeah,
because they don't even have a tablet or computer to watch it through. So that's probably one of the first things we're going to get them
right.
because they watch us on the group of kids watch us
Yep.
on a little cell phone.
Yep. So we're going to try for that. So in that minimal amount of money for we're asking as a startup, we just hope that the tablet comes, the walls come, the floors come. And if we could get that far, that would be huge. They
I'll
would.
show you their walls again so you
Yep.
realize how they're, and look how happy they are. They're
Yep.
so happy.
See, they are and adorable.
So
So
please join us. Please go to GoFundMe. Look up Rescue Dash Our School, Our Dash School, and contribute whatever you can. Every little bit helps.
it does.
100 people giving $1 is $100.
Yep.
Five people giving $100 is $500.
Right.
Whatever you can
Oh,
give.
Celia, you learned math.
Collect your pennies, collect your coins, add them up, have your kids help you. It's a math experience. They learn to count, all good things.
So,
Well, thank you, Maddi, for hopping on. We've got things to do, and I have clients to see, and Maddi has work to do. But we wanted to hop on and really just show you the wonderful things that are going on in the world and the joy that you can be a part of.
really. So we hope you'll join us. We really do. No amount too small, especially if it comes from your kids.
Right. Especially if it comes from a small person. We
Right.
love that. Maddie's a small person.
Yes.
So we love that.
An
So
old
as
small
always,
person.
guys, I wish you days filled with peace, love, tons of laughter. Don't forget to laugh. It's really
Yes.
important. Things are funny. You're funny. Your kids are funny. Life is funny. Take it lightly,
Yep.
but let's contribute and build us a school. What do you say?
Yeah. Thank you
Bye,
all.
guys. GoFundMe, Rescue Dash Our Dash School. Join in. I can't wait to see you through Zoom meeting your new family. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.